Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing the Z1 two-piece rotors and Hawk brake pads upgrade. So I'll show you them here in a minute. I just want to show you the car is up on racing ramps. That way I can actually get a jack underneath it. I have a block behind both the front tire, and then if I go around to the other side, sorry, my garage is kind of messed up, dirty, but I have one behind the back tire. So I'm gonna do one at a time, and the first thing you got to do is obviously jack the car up on the side that you are working with. If you have a lift, even better. That's the first thing, is taking the wheel off. Basically loosen the lugs up like just a little bit, enough that you break it free, and then once you get it up on the jack, floor jack, and that, lift it off the ground, put it on a jack stand. I'll show you in a minute. You'll take the whole tire off. Then you will loosen your brake fluid cap. That way you have the air loose, free, basically. That way when you push the calipers back in, that the pistons of the caliper back in, that you won't have pressure. So you don't have to bleed the lines, you just loosen that cap up. So I'll show you here in a minute. Alright, so I have these lovely vault right here. I'm sorry, these lovely rays. Expensive, but unfortunately one of them just would not come out, and hopefully that'll zoom in there. One of them wouldn't come out, and as you can see, it was like stuck in there crazy, and I had to basically drill it and then thread it to get it out. So this one's done. I'm gonna have to order new caps, I guess, if I can order just the caps. I don't know, but that thing's just absolutely destroyed. And I have a show on Saturday, so yeah, not fun at all. Alright, as you can see, you have the all 5 lugs off, wheel and rim off. As you can see, I already have cross-drilled slotted. These are fairly old, I believe about 4 years old. I'm sure they're still good, but you see these aren't directional. They're just finned, like they're not directional. The new ones are directional. Now, mind you, I have no idea how bad the current pads are. They might be pretty bad. Not sure. I'll have to see the wear later. I am just upgrading them anyway. These were starting to warp. I can feel it, the vibration while driving. So I'm going to show you the new ones in a minute. All right, as you can see, there's a pin right here and a pin right there that I already started to pull out, like those little clips. And then I'm going to push these 2 pins out just right here. Just tap them through. That way I can access the brake pads. I don't know if it recorded or not, so I went ahead and already loosened the brake. That way, brake reservoir, that way I relieve pressure. That way when I squeeze these brake pads in to remove them and squeeze the calipers in, it'll be much easier. So then I'll have to remove the calipers. There's the 2 bolts on the back side of it to remove it from the lovely rotor. So 1 pin out, the other pin on its way out, right there. Apparently I have plenty of pad left, but I'm still gonna go ahead and replace those because they're not wearing right. I'm just gonna set these aside. Maybe I'll just sell it all and let someone else buy them for cheap. We'll see. Alright, so I used a 7/8 on the back side of this to remove the rotor. There are 2 big bolts, right? Hard to see, but here and here, to hold the caliper on. So I'm gonna actually jimmy rig a coat hanger around the suspension. That way this can hang on the coat hanger while I do the swapping of the rotor. So you can see these are the old ones. They're just sitting on there now with the caliper off. caliper hanging off the back from a coat hanger. So I left the pads in for now, don't matter. So these are the new ones. They are directional. So as you can see, they have fins that catch the air to circulate the air through it, as opposed to these that are just flat. You can see they're just flat. See how these have fins in them. So I'm gonna pull the old ones off and then put these new ones on. They are directional. It says on the box, that way you're aware. So it actually says it right there on the box. Front left, meaning driver. Alright, so new rotor on. As you can see, the blades. So when it spins, it catches. Ignore the rubbing right now. That's because the pads are not in yet. I squeezed these in using, where is it? Using this new tool. Worked wonders. So you just ratchet in, and it squeezes those together. Best 20 bucks I ever spent. Well, not the best, but one of the best I've ever spent. So let me go ahead and put the pads, slide those pads back in there, and then the wheel, when the wheel goes back on, and it holds this back in. So this will stay nice and even. So, yep, almost done. Alright, so I used a little bit of that grease on the back of the pads and slid them right in. They slid right in. And then this pin, same thing, I greased it up. The only thing is to see that center right, let's see if I can hold this at the same time. See this center right here, this clip? You have to push this in while you slide that in. I use these handy dandy lovely pliers to help kind of grip it and slide it, but and then just held this in while it goes. Then you're gonna have to do the same thing for the bottom. Alright, so that is the final look of them. Everything is tightened back down. As you can see, the one is missing. I'm gonna have to like see if I can order, or if I'm gonna have to just get all new $100 and whatever freaking new lugs. Yeah, that's the way it is. Then also, once you're completely done with all of the brakes, you have to go out and basically wear them in. So you need to like drive up to like 30 or 40 miles an hour, slowly brake to a stop, then drive up to 60 miles an hour and brake all the way down to about 10 miles an hour, and do that about 10 times. So that way it wears the brake pads in. So don't know where I'm going to be able to do that. It's definitely going to be interesting because I'm doing all 4. So I'm definitely going to have some wear in to do. But yeah, that's everything. Time for the next side.